Hey girl, hey. Welcome to the first installment of my first ever TikTok series, The Newlywed Millennial. Y'all, this series is so important to me and so special to me because I have been wanting to document my thoughts, my reality, just expectations versus reality, all the things when it comes to being a millennial newlywed. Why this series is so important to me is because I want to touch on the millennial newlywed slash marriage life experience. Because as I gotten older and realized that it's totally different in my experience than what our parents have taught us, what we've seen in our grandparents. It's just different. What worked for them doesn't necessarily work for us. Okay, clock that T. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Candace. I am 32 years old, freshly married, a new mom. I'm literally living a whole new life. Okay. If you followed me on YouTube, you would know that I spent all of my 20s living life, hot girl summer, just really doing all the things. But once I turned 29, I ended up getting pregnant, having my beautiful daughter, getting married, and just, yeah, this is where we at. So, yeah, you guys, this is going to be episode number 1. So, before we actually get into the series, I do want to elaborate a little bit on me and my husband. We met during the pandemic on that one app that you had to get like an invitation to go to. Y'all remember Clubhouse? Yes, me and my husband met on Clubhouse during the pandemic, and we've literally been together ever since. We started off very briefly in a long distance relationship. I lived in California, he lived in Georgia, and we would, go back and forth. But that was very short lived because I was like, look, you're not gonna be coming to LA and spending time with me and then going back. And, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. So I ended up moving to Georgia to be with my now husband, but at the time it was my boyfriend. Would I recommend that? Not for everybody. Okay. Let me just say that is not for everybody. When you know, but like I said, results may vary. So fast forward, we ended up having our beautiful daughter, and none of his family is in Georgia. None of my family is there. All of my family is in my hometown of Los Angeles. So we quickly realized after having a newborn that it was time to go where family is. So we ended up moving back to Los Angeles, which is where we are now, to raise our beautiful daughter and, continue our family, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's put this into equation. You have a newlywed couple and you have a newborn daughter slash brink of toddlerhood, and I am just now turning 30. So yeah, y'all, it was a lot because I just felt like I was so happy for the season that I was in and that God placed me in, but it was just a lot for me to kind of wrap my head around. Like, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I got responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Because just 3, 4, 5 years ago, I was in Vegas Memorial Day weekend turning up and losing my mind. So, yeah, you guys, it was such a big transition, but thankfully, this is why you got to have a good partner. My husband was so and he's older than me, y'all. My husband is like 6 years older than me. So, he was very understanding, very patient with me, and he literally makes life easy for me. Not saying he's perfect, but he definitely made that transition for me becoming a wife, becoming a mother very easy. And I just thank him for that. So here's a hot take. A lot of people don't know this in my personal life. I mean, I feel like they're catching on, but me and my husband eloped. We had a very public engagement. Here's some pictures. We got engaged in Chicago at the Bean. It was so beautiful, so nice. My husband literally flew photographer out. We stayed at the Nobu Hotel. It was just all of the things, and it was beautiful. And initially, we were going to have like a really big wedding and like do all the things, but we quickly realized that it was more important for us to seal that union versus trying to put all of our attention and focus into trying to seal this big wedding. So we eloped. We went to the courthouse, we presented our documents, and we got married. The only person who knew in real time was my mom. my best friend, all of my like close family members, I think they just kind of caught on that like, yeah, they're married. Or I would talk about it in passing. Like, for example, my conversation went from like my fiance to like my husband. So people just kind of like, and no one really like cared except for a very small population. And that is actually going to touch on what our first episode is going to be about. I You guys would not believe the fact that I had family members who were like upset that like we eloped, didn't do the big wedding, and initially I wanted to believe that it was because they were not necessarily a part of it and they wanted to be and they so badly wanted to like celebrate that day with us. But then I quickly realized it was just more so a monitoring spirit and it was more so people just wanting to be in the know as to what's going on in real time. Like I said, I know that I had a very public engagement. It was all over my social media, so all my family knew. So it's like, girl, you let us know when you're getting engaged, but then you don't want to let us know when you're getting married. And yeah, I didn't. It wasn't something that was planned, but at the same time, like if it were me from the outside looking in, I don't think that I would care too much. In fact, as an elder, I think I would be happy that like, my family member went and did it before God, just, the two of them got married, eloped, whatever that may be for them, because that was what was important to them. But no, I had a lot of people who were very disappointed in the fact that they were not present, they did not know, and they had to find out after the fact. So, saying all this to say, as we wrap up this first episode, if you are married, thinking about married, or about to get married, what is important to you? Is it the wedding? Is it the venue? Is it the beautiful dress and the makeup and the hair? Or is it the union that your wedding is going to be built upon? Is it based upon your family say, your friends say, what people may think? Is it based upon all of the worldly expectations? Or is it what you are truly looking for in a spouse and a husband and a partner and a wife, whatever that may be for you? Comment down below if you eloped, if you had a big wedding, and if you did either or, do you regret it? Do you wish that you would have had a big wedding because you eloped? Or did you elope and feel like, well, maybe I should have waited a little bit and had this big wedding? I'm curious to hear your thoughts and kind of know like what that looks like for everyone if you want to share. Because, like I said, we don't do monitoring spirits around here, okay? So, yeah, y'all, see you guys in my next episode.